Hey guys, and happy new year. I hope everyone had a very fun, safe, lovely new year, and I wish you all such a marvelous, prosperous, lovely 2022. I'm not going to say anything more about the year because I'm not trying to jinx nothing. I'm not trying to predict nothing. I'm just wishing you all the love, the blessings, the positivity, and that's all I'm gonna say about the new year. Okay? So, in, what is it? Now that it's the new year, I started thinking about, what videos I wanted to make because I kind of took a break because a week of just my face and my voice, I think y'all needed a break. So I'm back. And today I wanted to do, a story time because it wasn't like worthy of like sitting down and having a story time, but I think it is like kind of a funny story. So I thought I would go ahead and do my makeup and talk about my worst New Year's. And this is honestly the last New Year's that I've ever celebrated. So, and that was this was 2018, so it was a while ago. So I thought while I'm doing, while I'm telling y'all the story, I'll do my makeup as like a New Year's kind of look. Like, as you guys know, not into makeup like that. I only have one palette, and it's the BH Cosmetic palette. So, these are the colors that we have going on today. So, I'm just gonna make a New Year's look with this. So, if it comes out ugly, sorry. Don't care. So, anyway, hopefully you guys can, do your makeup, have some fun. And let's get into it. So, taking it back all the way, like I said, this was the year 2018 going into 2019. So, I was still a little underaged girl. And I had just moved into my apartment. And I was like, you know what? We should get it popping. Like, we should do something for New Year's. Like, New Year's is gonna be crazy. So like I said, I was a little underage thing, and back in the day, my sister did not let me use her ID. Okay, so sometimes I would take it without her knowing. Sorry, Sabrina. But it's the past. But so this is when I was living with Paris, right? So at this time, me and Paris, we were best friends, obviously, but we didn't really, like, her friend group was a certain type of like vibe and people, and then like my friend group was a different kind of vibe of people. And at this time, I just liked going to the clubs. Like, I was a little club rat. I lived and thrived at the clubs. Okay, so I just love that kind of thing. I love dancing. I love those kind of vibes, and like Paris wasn't into it that much. So we kind of had our own separate things going on. This is gonna come up. The whole reason I'm saying this is because it comes up. So me and her had our own things going on for the New Year's. We had our own plans. She had met this guy on Tinder, I think, and so she was gonna go spend the New Year's with him. So I was like, okay, cool. This is when me and James were still cool. So James asked me, if you don't know from the roommate story time, James asked me if I wanted to go out with him for New Year's. So I was like, sure. Like, I got my sister's ID. I'm ready to bring in the new year. It's about to be crazy. Like, let's do it. So at this time, I loved me some Whiskey Row. If you go to Nashville, I'm not a huge Nashville person, but I'm not gonna lie, like, Broadway on a good day, like, it's actually really, really fun. So on New Year's, on any weekend, I loved going to Whiskey Row. Like, Whiskey Row was my club. If y'all go to Nashville, go to Whiskey Row. So we were gonna go to Whiskey Row, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it has changed since then, but they decided to add a cover fee on New Year's, and it was $75 per person. And let me tell you, when I say I used to go to Whiskey Row almost every single weekend, There was never, it was always free. You just walk in, you know, that kind of deal. So when they said $75, me and James, we were like, no, like, we're not about to do this. So we decided to go to, what's it called? We decided to go, I don't know if it was Tin Roof or something else. We decided to go to another club or bar or whatever you want to call it. Because in Nashville, it's not really clubs. They're more like bars with dance floors. So we decided to go to another one. Now, this is not the first time that, you know, I used my sister's ID. Like, I had my whole system. I had it down packed. I knew exactly how to get in, and I knew exactly what to do. This day, I don't know. I decided to lose my mind. I guess I got a little too excited. So we were with James. I was with James, and his brother came with his friend. Now, his brother was younger than us. So mind you, James was 21. I was 20. His little brother was like 19. And the girl he was with was like 19 too. So we like were walking up to the little bar thing, and then the guy was like, oh, this is like 21 and up only, not 18 and up. So if you're not 21, you can't come in. So I wasn't tripping because I had my ID. And so James wasn't tripping. So he was basically like, his brother was like, okay, well, y'all can go, like, we'll figure out something to do, blah, blah, blah. So while we're doing that, I don't know, I'm just so excited. I'm talking to this bouncer. I made a comment about people being under 21. I was like, yeah, people that are under 21, like, it sucks that they can't hang out. Or I said something along those lines, right? So in the midst of me, you know, talking and doing all this stuff, trying to make it, you know, really seamless with the bouncer, I give him the wrong ID. So while I'm sitting here talking up my big game, the bouncer was like, I told you it's 21 and up. And I was like, I know. And he was like, it says 98. And I'm like, I look at the ID and I'm just like, oh my God, I gave him the wrong ID. I gave him my ID, not my sister's ID. So I'm just like, bro, like, are you serious? And then, like, not only that, like, I looked so stupid being like, oh yeah, like, these young cats can't come in the club. Meanwhile, I'm one of the young ones that can't get into the club. So I like had to do the walk of shame. It was so embarrassing. Like, it was really embarrassing. So when I get out of that or whatever, when we get out the line, we do the walk of shame, me and James were basically like, what are we going to do? Because all the other clubs, like, they were just charging extra crazy just to get in. And let me tell you something, none of the clubs in Nashville are like, they're not worth no cover fee, to be honest. Like, they should not be charging no covers. So I was just like, dang, like, I don't know, like, what should we do, blah, blah, blah. So we're just like walking around Broadway, and it's just like getting later and later into the night, and nothing's really popping off. There's long lines everywhere. It was just like really crazy. And so we basically, like, at this point, it had already been midnight. Like, everything had already passed. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go home. Like, we're not doing anything. Nothing's really popping off. Nothing's really happening. So we might as well just go home. And so he was like, okay, like, no worries. So I get home and I'm just chilling at this point. I'm like taking off my makeup, or I hadn't taken off my makeup yet. I had just got home and I started changing, and I was like making myself something to eat. So like I told y'all, Paris had went out with this guy that she was met on Tinder or whatever. And basically she told me like they were having like a house party. So while I'm just like chilling in the apartment or whatever, getting myself undone, I get a phone call from Paris, and she's like frantically crying. And like, Paris wasn't really like a crier like that. She didn't cry like that. So when she picks up the phone, she was like, oh my God, you'll never believe what happened. And I was like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? And she was like, no, I'm not okay. Like, I just slapped this girl. Like, can you come get me? And I was like, you just slapped somebody? Like, what are you talking about? You just slapped somebody. And she's like, I just slapped this girl. Like, I need you to come pick me up because the guy that I came here with said he's not going to take me home. So I was like, oh my God, like, what in the world happened? So I'm like, okay, bet, send me the location and I'm on my way. So I'm like, oh my God, because mind you, this was not the first time that like Paris has asked me to come pick her up from like these sketchy situations. And not for nothing, Paris used to put me in some very questionable situations. I'm not even gonna lie to you, like this was not the first time I had to rescue her. But she was like, come get me. So she sends me the location and I like immediately get in my car and I'm on my way. So I was just like, oh my God, like I have no clue. Like she hadn't called me back. I was calling her, but she hadn't called me back. So I'm like so worried. I was like, oh my God, she got into a fight. Like if she slapped somebody, like they're probably like, she doesn't know these people. This is just a new guy that she knows. So like they're all probably going to be against her. So, you know, obviously I switched into some sneakers and some sweats because I'm like, like, are we going to have to fight tonight? Like, please don't tell me we have to fight. So boom, right? I'm like calling her while I'm on the way. Now I looked at the map and like she's a while away. And while I'm looking at this map, I'm like noticing while I'm driving, I'm like, this is in literally the middle of nowhere. Like it got to a point where there was an intersection with that one stoplight, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like the middle, it's just one and it's just like yellow and it's just blinking. I was like in one of those, okay? Mind you, we lived in Nashville, so I'm like, where did you get yourself into? Like, what is this? So whatever, I'm like going, I'm like driving or whatever, and I'm calling her. I'm like, hey, like what is going on? Like what's happening? But she's not answering the phone. And like if she did answer the phone, it would like hang up real fast. So now at this point, like I'm getting concerned for her. I'm like, oh my God, is she okay? Like are they doing something to her? Like, because she told me like the guy wasn't taking her home. So I was like, okay, like is he trying to say that? Like what is he trying to do? So I'm so bad at makeup. I have no idea where I'm going with this look. So I'm like, what is this boy like trying to do? Like, is she okay? So I'm like getting concerned because I'm also one of those people that like I think the worst in every situation. Like I feel like if somebody calls me in the middle of the night, it's because somebody died. Like I just automatically go to stuff like that. So I'm like so worried. I'm like, oh my God, like I hope she's okay. Like I have no idea what I'm about to walk into. I'm getting so scared, like whatever. And like all she told me was that she slapped somebody. So I'm like, who knows like what led up to that. So I'm over here, I'm like calling her and waiting for her to answer or whatever. So she calls me back and I was like, hey, where are you? And she was like, I'm in the bushes. How far away are you? And I'm like, you're in the bushes? And she was like, yeah, I got into it because, oh, this is a side note that I kind of have to say. So basically Paris got into a really bad incident. It's not my business to tell, so I'm not even gonna like go into that, but it left her walking with a limp. And so a lot of times like she looked like a regular person, you know, hello, you know, she just was a regular, you know, girl, but she walked with a limp. And a lot of people, a lot of times, it's really crazy. Like being her friend really showed me how messed up people really are in this world, because like people would make comments because she had a handicap tag and stuff, and people would make comments at her when we would be in parking lots, when we would be in malls. And so like because she walked with a limp, it was really like the world is a really messed up place. Like it really, really is. So apparently, like she's telling me on the phone, when she's on the phone, she tells me that while she was at this house party, she got up to go to the bathroom and one of the girls had made a comment to the guy that she came with saying like, oh, like get your girl because she's so sloppy drunk that she can't even walk. obviously that is so offensive. And I'm not even gonna hold Paris. Like, I feel like if I walked with a limp and you're trying to sit here and tell the dude that I'm with that I can't even walk because I'm so drunk, when that's like my disability, like something tragic like happened to me that I walk like this, I would slap you too, to be honest. Like, I don't know, maybe I just have issues, but like, yeah. So that's what happened. She said that the girl had said that about her to the guy that she was with. And so when she got up, she was like, what did you say? And the girl tried to be like, like, what a mean girl. And so she slapped her and they got to fighting. So I'm just like, oh my God, like, so where are you? Because mind you, I'm still on the way, because I'm telling you, it was literally middle of nowhere, Confederate flag nation. Like, we are out here. And that was the thing that I used to tell Paris all the time. I'm like, girl, you can't put me in these kind of situations, because unfortunately, like, I'm not their kind. So, you know what I mean? Like, this comes up. So I was sitting here like so scared, because I was like, oh my God, I hope nothing happened to her, because I'm like, dang, like, really? Like, so she told me that they got into a fight. And so, hold on. So as I'm like pulling up, I was like, hey, where are you? Where are you? She's like, I'm in the bushes. I'm in the bushes. So it was one of those driveways, one of those like gravel like driveways where they have like the fences. It looked like the typical like country movie kind of thing. So she was like, oh, I'm hiding in the bushes, like, you'll see me when you pull up, let me know when you're like here. So I was like, okay, I think I'm pulling up, I think this is the place. And I'm like describing like what I'm seeing, and then out of nowhere I see this guy like kind of like charging towards the bushes. And then I put the window down and I hear Paris, and she's like, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. So then like I get out the car and I'm like, get away from her, like, what are you doing? She said, get away from her. And then so like he goes to like, it looked like I don't know, to me, this is what my eyes saw. I felt like he was going to like grab her, and I wasn't playing those games. So I hopped back into my car, and like I wasn't gonna run him over. Like, I wasn't actually gonna run him over, but I had to make it seem like I was. So I get my car and then I put it in sport. I felt like I was in Fast and Furious, okay? So I put my car in sport and I like put my foot on the gas, and then I broke real fast to like scare him. And so I did. So then he jumps over the fence, and then Paris gets into my car, and I was like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. We gotta go, 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 we gotta go. And then he's like, get off my property, I'm gonna call the police. And I was like, yeah, Paris, we gotta go. Like, this is not for me. Like, we need to get out of here. And so I was like, where are the girls that like did that to you? And she was like, because I'm over here like, not for nothing, I'm ready to fight. Like, who are these girls that were doing this to you? And so she was like, they're in the house, but like, let's just go, let's just go. So I was like, okay, whatever. Because he was for real yelling, because my windows were still down. He was still yelling that he was gonna call the police, and now we need to get off his property. And like, we all know, like, if anything, I was gonna be the one going to jail, not him, not Paris, not the girl that she fought. Like, come on. So I hop into I like reversed, I did my whole like skirt, I did all that, and I got up out of there. So then I'm asking her, I'm like, girl, what in the world happened? And so she was like, yeah, she's like, I was like fine, because Paris was really social. She was a very social person. So she was basically like telling me that like she was just chilling, everything was like fine, and that they basically did a switch up on her. And then as soon as like the guys were around, they were basically, trying to be like mean girls. And then that's when she made that comment. So she slapped the girl, and they got to tussling, and they pulled out her extensions and everything. She used to wear tape-in extensions. They pulled out her tape-ins. I have Snapchats from this night too. On some real shit, like, you gotta change and go fight. Which is crazy, because it came up on my memories. That's why I'm like, oh, I should tell this story. So so we ended up going back to the apartment. And then did you know that even after all that, the guys still try to hit her up talking about like, oh, I'm so sorry about what happened last night. I hope this didn't ruin my chances with you. I'm like, boy, you threatened to call the cops on me. Not like it was my guy, but yeah. So those are the things that Paris used to get me into, man. Like I remember so many times, like there was a time that I had to end up, like, me and James were chilling one day. Cause I'm telling you, me and James were like besties for a while. Me and him were chilling one day. We went and got dinner and all this other stuff. And then Paris called me telling me if she could pick her up. I ended up having to drive an hour all the way to where she was because the guy that she met was basically on some craziness. I don't know how people do it. Like, I really hope that everybody is very careful and safe. I see way too many things going on. Like, I'm scary. I don't know how she did. She used to go on dates and stuff all the time. Like, it was no big deal. She was just living her best life. And so there were so many times where I just had to go pick her up. We went that night that I was just talking about where me and James were at dinner, had to go pick her up from like an hour away. I had to pick her up at a freaking, it was like a truck, you know those truck stops? It was like a truck car wash. I remember that because it was a truck car wash. And we were so confused and James was mad because that's what I'm saying. You know, it's so funny how this stuff works. Right? Because James would talk so bad about Paris, talking about some, oh, like, I don't understand why you always got to play babysitter. I don't know, like, if it was me, like, this would be, I would let her know that this is the first and the last time that I'm going to come get her because she shouldn't be putting herself in these positions. Now they're the besties, though. Crazy. But yeah, that was my crazy New Year experience. I was a dummy who told on myself, and I really thought I was doing something, given the wrong ID. And then I had to go rescue Paris and fake hit somebody with my car because I thought he was trying to attack her. I'm not joking. We had got, like, there are so many stories of me and her, like, just tag teaming on people, to be honest. Because there was one guy, he was just such a creep, and I ended up going off on him in the club. Like, it was so wild. It was Whiskey Row, actually, that I went off on this one guy that we went to high school with. And, well, I went to high school with him. He was like my sister's age, so he was 2 years older than me, but I knew him. And she was like talking to him for a little bit, like they were texting or whatever. And he was like really possessive. Like, they just went out on one date and he like was going crazy, like stalking her, calling her and all types of stuff. And we were at the club and we were just chilling. And he like grabs her by the arm and he was like, why don't you text me back? Like, you saw my phone. Like, he was on that type of time. And I wasn't playing with that. Like, I'm telling you, I'm that friend. Like, I'm not joking. I will go 10 toes down for you, especially when it comes to guys, because, you know, guys be crazy. I'm always on high alert when we go out because, no, you're not about to sit here and try to grab my friend and be on some, like, why didn't you text me? Like, don't be such a loser. Who cares? Like, so yeah, that was another crazy one. I went off on that dude, and then he was like, Sam, like, what's wrong? What's wrong? It's like, you're a psycho, and I'm gonna have to, you know, defend my friend. Not gonna lie, though, definitely miss those nights. Like, I used to have so much fun in that, like, that time period. I'm not joking. The fakest people be like giving you the best memories. Cause like, if you're ever in Nashville, if you want like fun times that's not on Broadway, Kung Fu was my stomping grounds, okay? Because I lived in Midtown. So like that was right across, or like that was right around the corner from where I lived. So we would go to Tin Roof. Tin Roof was whack though, not even gonna lie. Kung Fu was the spot though. Whiskey Row, oh my god, Whiskey Row was my jam. I'm so mad that like the world is the way that it is, because literally, if like, of course I moved to Miami when I'm freshly 21 and the world shuts down. I didn't get to experience anything. I still haven't been able to experience anything. It is so annoying. It's like, how are you in like the party capital of the world and you ain't never been to no party here? Because I'm sorry, I can't. I know like everybody has their own thing. Do whatever it is that makes you feel the safest. But unfortunately for me, I don't have the luxury of playing with Miss Rona because both my parents are immune compromised. So as much as I would love to be outside, I can't. So I hope everybody is staying safe, however that looks for you, because this ain't going nowhere. I definitely feel another shutdown coming, which is quite annoying. I'm doing all this and I haven't even put glue on my eyelashes. Dang it. So I guess this turned from like a story time to like just a chit chat. So funny because I keep, for some reason, I don't know, I guess because like my videos have reached a broader audience because of Vlogmas and like the algorithm. I've been getting like I have been getting crazy amounts of hate comments, like wild amounts of hate comments, and it's just like, okay, what did I do? Why are you upset with me? But it's kind of funny because I was like, my sister asked me if I would do a reading hates comments video, and I told her no, because I don't know, part of me wants to do one because it's like I need y'all to see the mess that I deal with, the assumptions that people make of me, the gymnastics that go through people's head when it comes to me and my videos, I guess. But then the other part of me is like, nah, y'all ain't gonna get that much attention. Because I really, like, not for nothing, guys, I really appreciate y'all in ways you don't even know. Because it's always when I'm having a really, really bad day, I get, like, random messages, like, random DMs on Instagram telling me that, like, y'all love my videos and that, like, y'all love me and stuff, and that you just binge watched all my videos and you feel like you and I could be friends, and it's really nice, and I really do appreciate it. And I hope that's another reason why I don't want to make these videos, like the videos of like reading hate comments, because I get such an overwhelming amount of love and support from y'all. Like, it's really unreal and crazy. And I just really, really appreciate it, because y'all do not have to support me. There's so many other creators y'all can watch, and y'all tell me that I'm your favorite YouTuber, and it just means a lot. It really, really does. Especially because like now I'm not doing anything. I literally couldn't even see my boyfriend for like a week because his cousin tested positive. So like I wasn't trying to risk it. So it's like I've been in the house this whole time. So like reading y'all's comments and like interacting with y'all has really helped my mental. Even though sometimes I'll be getting comments that I just want to spaz. What is this? I'm telling you, I be wanting to spaz out. Cause I'm like, you feel so emboldened to leave this comment, But if I get on you though, when I start violating though, I'm wrong. I'm trying not to be toxic. I'm trying not to be that girl. I've grown a lot. Haven't y'all seen in my story times, okay, that I have really evolved as a person, and I've really tried not to be that way. But like, it can she's not gone. She still lives here, okay? She still lives here. But nah, I'm playing. Even though I use this palette every day, it's not my favorite. I just really don't like clutter. I just feel like makeup collections are clutter because like there's no way you can use all that makeup. You know what I mean? Like, y'all remember when that was like the thing on YouTube? People would have like that IKEA thing, that thing from IKEA, and it would just be like a bunch of makeup, just stacks and stacks of makeup. Like, why would you buy all that? Well, I thought this video, like, I thought this story was gonna take a lot longer, and it looks like my makeup is taking a lot longer than the actual story. It's so funny because whenever I wear these eyelashes, these are the same eyelashes I said I would never wear again. But I do find them fun. Like, I think they're fun to wear. I don't wear these out in like the world or anything, but I do think they're fun. And it's funny because I either get like, oh Jesus, that was a lot. I either get like, oh my God, those eyelashes are way too much. I usually like your makeup, but those eyelashes are not cute. Or I get like, oh my God, I love your eyelashes. So I never know. But I felt like, you know, this is a New Year's dramatic look. So we need dramatic eyelashes. You know what I mean? I feel like it goes. Because literally, it's like 2 in the morning right now. I'm not doing anything. I couldn't sleep, so I'm literally just doing this makeup just to wipe it all off. Yeah. Sure. Now, what do I want to do for blush? Let's do this. I love using these, the orange colors on this palette. I hate that because it gives you like that glare thing. But if you have this palette, I like using Hibiscus, Lay, and Aloha. I love those as blushes. Ooh, I swear I'm so not good at makeup. I just be doing this all the time. Oh my God. And then I always finish it with NARS Orgasm. Always. This is my favorite blush in the whole wide world. I love this blush. I feel like you can never put too much of it on. Does anybody else, like, does anybody do New Year's resolutions anymore? I've never been a fan. I've never done them because I'm just a firm believer in start whenever you want. Like, you don't have to start when the year is over. But I get it. It's like a good, what am I trying to say? It's like a good start, you know what I mean? Start of the year, start of new stuff. But I've just never been into actually like doing New Year's resolutions because I'm just not a disciplined enough person. I've come to terms with that. I'm just not one of those people. Like, I go off the vibes, okay? If I feel like doing something, then I do it. If I don't, I won't. That's just kind of how it goes. Okay, guys, so this is the final look. This is my New Year's Eve look. How do you guys think about it? Or what do you guys think about it? Let me know. Also, let me know what you guys want to see more of. I know I got in on live. I've been getting on live a lot more often these days. I might start switching my lives to Instagram live just so the quality would be a little bit better because YouTube, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my computer. Maybe it's my Wi-Fi, or I don't know, but my YouTube quality and live has been lagging lately. But I've been asked to bring my Why Everybody Hates series, you know, that I had going on. If you guys want to see more of that, let me know who you guys want to see. But definitely let me know other things you guys want to see more of. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing year, an amazing day. I hope everybody is just living their best lives despite everything that's going on in the world. And yeah, as always, guys, stay safe, be a good person, and have a great day. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.